Paradox of authenticity. This refers to the idea that in our quest to be authentic, we sometimes end up conforming to certain ideals or expectations. It's like trying to be true to ourselves while fitting into society's mold. We want to be genuine, but we also want to be accepted. It's a delicate balance between staying true to ourselves and adapting to the world around us. Sometimes the pressure to be authentic can hinder our ability to express ourselves fully. It's an exciting concept to explore and can lead to some thought-provoking discussions. Paradox of choice refers to the idea that too many options can lead to dissatisfaction and anxiety. It's like when you go to a restaurant with a vast menu and you can't decide what to order because there are so many choices. You might feel overwhelmed and unsure if you made the right decision. This can apply to many aspects of life, from shopping or clothes to choosing a career path. While having choices is generally seen as a positive thing, too much choice can make it challenging to make a decision and lead to a fear of missing out or regretting our choices. It's an interesting phenomenon to consider and can impact our daily lives in surprising ways. The predestination paradox. This concept in time travel where events loop in a way that makes it impossible to determine which event caused the other. It's like a chicken and egg situation, where the cause and effect become intertwined. For example, imagine a person traveling back in time to give their younger self crucial information. However, that information is what ultimately leads to the person to travel back in time in the first place. So it needs to be clarified which event came first or caused the other. It's a fascinating paradox that challenges our understanding of cause and effect. Time travel can be tricky when wrapping our heads around. The paradox of tolerance. When it comes to tolerance, an exciting paradox comes up. It's the idea that being utterly tolerant to all viewpoints and beliefs can lead to the tolerance of intolerant ideologies. In other words, if we accept and tolerate everything, including those who promote hate or discrimination, it can undermine the very values of tolerance and acceptance that we strive for. It's a thought-provoking concept that challenges us to consider the limits of tolerance to maintain a just and inclusive society. The paradox of thrift. An exciting paradox follows when it comes to saving money. If everyone tries to save more during tough economic times, it can actually worsen the overall economy. When people save more and spend less, it can lead to decreased demand for goods and services, which can, in turn, lead to job losses and a downward spiral in the economy. So while saving money is generally seen as a responsible and prudent thing to do, it can have unintended consequences in certain situations in the larger economy. It's a complex concept that economists often discuss and analyze. The ship of fools paradox. This is a classic thought experiment that explores identity and change. The paradox asks if a ship has all its parts replaced over time, is it still the same ship? It challenges how we think about the identity of objects, and by extension ourselves, as they undergo change. It's a fascinating topic that philosophers have debated for centuries. The paradox of choice in dating. This refers to the idea that having too many options can actually make it harder to make a decision, and be satisfied with that decision. With the rise of online dating apps and platforms, we now have access to countless potential partners, which can be both exciting and overwhelming. It can lead to a feeling of never being fully satisfied because there's always the possibility of finding someone better. This paradox can create a sense of indecision, anxiety, and even commitment issues. It's essential to find a balance between exploring different options and being able to make a choice and invest in a relationship. The paradox of success is an exciting concept that explores the potential downsides of achieving success. As people strive for success and achieve their goals, they may encounter unexpected challenges or unintended consequences that come along with it. For example, increased responsibilities, higher expectations, or the pressure to maintain that level of success can create stress and dissatisfaction. Additionally, success can sometimes lead to a fear of failure or a reluctance to take risks, hindering further growth and innovation. Finding a balance and understanding that success is not a guarantee of happiness or fulfillment is essential. The butterfly effect. It is a fascinating concept from chaos theory that suggests small actions can have significant, unpredictable consequences. It's like how a butterfly flapping its wings might eventually cause a storm far away. It's often used to talk about how tiny changes in a system can lead to huge impacts down the line. It really makes you think about the ripple effects of our actions. The time value of money paradox. This isn't exactly a paradox, but it's an interesting financial principle. It means that the money available now is worth more than the same amount in the future due to its potential earning capacity. This core principle of finance holds that provided money can earn interest, any amount of money is worth more the sooner it is received. However, the paradox might refer to how sometimes people irrationally prefer to receive money in the future rather than less money now, which goes against this principle. It's all about balancing immediate gratification with future benefits. The Bootstrap Paradox. This is a common theme in science fiction and time travel tales, involving objects of information lacking a clear origin. Named after pulling oneself up by the bootstraps, it depicts a loop of self-creation with no identifiable starting point. For instance, a time traveler gives their past self a key, initiating a cycle where each iteration becomes the provider of the key. This paradox challenges conventional notions of cause and effect, suggesting events can exist without clear origins, posing questions about time, causality, and reality. In fiction, it serves as a plot device to explore the intricacies of time travel, provoking contemplation on determinism and free will. The Prisoner's Dilemma. This classic game theory explores the intricate balance between cooperation and self-interest. Picture two individuals detained for a crime, isolated from each other. Each faces a critical decision: cooperate by remaining silent, potentially earning a reduced sentence if the other does the same, or defect by confessing, possibly walking free if the other stays silent, but risking a moderate sentence if both confess. Despite the ideal scenario being mutual cooperation, the lack of trust and fear of exploitation incentivizes both to defect, leading to a less favorable outcome for both parties. This dilemma underscores the tension between individual rationality and collective welfare, showcasing how pursuing self-interest can diminish overall well-being compared to collaborative efforts. The Twin Paradox. This is an intriguing thought experiment within the framework of physics, explicitly addressing the phenomena associated with time dilation as predicted by the theory of special relativity. It posits a scenario involving identical twins, where one remains stationary on Earth while the other undertakes a journey at velocities approaching the speed of light. Upon the traveling twins' return to Earth, a discrepancy in age is observed, the result of time passing at a slower rate for the twin in motion, a direct consequence of their high-velocity travel. This serves as a compelling illustration of the relativistic effects of time. The paradox of simplicity and complexity. On one hand, simplicity suggests that things can be easily understood or explained with straightforward ideas or principles. It's all about keeping things uncomplicated and clear-cut. But here's where it gets paradoxical. On the other hand, complexity refers to the profound nature of things. It's about the layers that can make something challenging to comprehend or navigate. So the paradox lies in the fact that sometimes simplicity can lead to complexity, and complexity can lead to simplicity. Upon closer examination, something that seems simple at first glance can reveal hidden depths and complexities, and something that appears complex can often be broken down into simpler components or patterns. The paradox of knowledge. On one hand, knowledge empowers us, expands our understanding, and allows us to make informed decisions. It gives us confidence to open up new possibilities. However, the paradox lies in the realization that the more we learn and acquire knowledge, the more we become aware of how much we don't know. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, where each layer reveals even more layers beneath it. The deeper we go into a subject, the more we realize the vastness and complexity of the knowledge that exists. So while knowledge can be empowering, it also humbles us by highlighting the vastness of the unknown. It's a paradox because the more we know, the more we understand how much there is left to explore and discover.